Oh, hello there. So there's that. That's like take 3. So wanted to talk about some stuff with stuff as the backdrop. This is what's called trade stock. This is all the stuff that I get on trades, that I get, that I over order it, that I start a project and don't finish it. Everyone's got some of this out in their garage. And so what this means is these are things that are available to commission. I usually don't just sell them outright, but I will, and you can expect usually 40 or 50% off, which is a really good discount on things. When I do trade, I have a great trade-in policy, trade-in program, I should say, and I'll put up a link for that. Basically, if you're desperate enough, you can deal with me. And that's sort of the trade-off, is that I'm easy, and I usually have money or services to give in exchange for your stuff, but the rate won't be as much as if you went and sold it yourself. And I did want to talk about percentages for a minute. So here's how it works. If you have half a brain, you can go online. I'm sorry, I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I'm just saying if you do a little bit of digging, you can get 20% off on your stuff online or through a local shop or whatever it is. Local shops that don't give discounts, good for them, because they're holding their ground and they're making a trade with you. They're saying, I'm going to carry this stuff. I'm going to keep money wrapped up in inventory so you can just walk in and get whatever you want and get immediate gratification, but you're also going to pay the regular amount. So I say God bless them. And the online retailer, the trade-off is you have to wait, you pay shipping. Some of them don't charge shipping. And then obviously you get a discount. Now if you really dig around, you can get 30% off. And then more than that, usually you are getting into territory that's not the regular thing. So it's my opinion that if you walk into a game shop and you have a bunch of models that are in print and desirable, and you only want half off, that's good. That's kind of a no-brainer. People should just snap that up. And that's where I'm coming from, is as a second-hand dealer, I guess, I have to make that. That's what I'm selling stuff for, just to get rid of it really quick. So, let's see here. Hold on just a second. Oh yeah, but it is a bit obnoxious to try and sell your stuff at the local game shop, and here's why. Because that guy took the effort of creating a forum for selling things that required an overhead and initial investment. And if you just swoop in and kind of take advantage of that, well, that's really not very nice, and most game shop owners won't allow you to do that. At one place back in California, they, at least you'd have to go outside to, make whatever exchange you were going to do. So there's that aspect. So I just kind of want you to know where I'm coming from. I think Games Workshop gives like 45% off. That's kind of their wholesale dealer. And then, but it makes me wonder, for that $100 worth of stuff, how much does Games Workshop produce it for? And I've always wondered that. Personally, I think it's about $10 to $15. Maybe as much as $20 if you include like all their expenses. But who knows, maybe they're operating on a much narrower margin. That for $100 worth of product that they sell to the game shop owner for $55, how much of that $55 is eaten up in their overhead. Wild world. And so you get to what I do, which is I provide a very labor-intensive, and what I say about Games Workshop could be any game. It's just Games Workshop kind of dominated this market, which is really a shame, I think. And I have other thoughts about that, like you want to hear that. So, hold on a second, where was I? Oh, totally lost my train of thought. So anyway, I thought I'd show you what I have here. And so let's check it out. I ordered all these. This is like 4 chimeras and 2 hellhounds. And I ordered those. I was going to make an Imperial Guard army, like do tanks. Do you remember all those level 2 Cadians I had? Well, but I sold the Cadians and I ended up with all the tanks. And I also have this. Check it out. Got this for a trade-in. Bunch of Cadians all put together. Lehman Russ tanks here. So, yeah, that. You want to buy this bin? I'm going to put that on the block. I'll put some prices up there for you. And I have these Necrons. It's a small bin, but it's a lot of Necrons. It's at least 1,500 points, and I already showed you that the day before. What else do I have? Oh, here's more Imperial Guard. These are 3 Lehman Russ Demolishers, and look at that. Lehman Russ battle tanks, and there's like even more stuff under there. So there's that. Oh, what's in this one? Oh, this is just Lizardmen Detritus. It's mostly Lizardmen Cavalry now, which is really not the most popular thing. It's like all the battalions and battle forces have like, you know, that one unit that you really don't need. So it's like, hey, they give you 4 things for the price of 3, but one of those 4 things, wah, wah. Not always, but some of them do have that. And for the Lizardmen, it's the Saurus Cavalry. For Space Marines, it's the Scouts. Not many people use Scouts. What I do, since we order so many of those battle forces, is I save the Scouts until I have like 50 of them, and then we make an Imperial Guard Elites army out of it. Because you get a Cadian head, and if you get Forge World Respirators, ba-boom! Those are awesome. And those look really good, and you make them into veterans. And that is a really, really fantabulous conversion. All right, so, well, let's go. We're not even 1/10 the way through, but I have these Catachan things. Tons of Dark Eldar. Got 4 Vipers sitting here to change into Venoms. I've got, I've got this Raider sprue. That, I don't know how we ended up with that extra. This is all War Machine stuff. Whole kits of resin things that make great Taloses and stuff. Recently I've just got a zillion Space Marines on trade. I have enough to make like a Space Marine army and a half here. Assault squads. Oh, look at this. Now remember, don't email me with, hey, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. I'll put a few things up for sale, but if you want to commission them, that's different. That's really what this stuff is for. I want to change this into painted figures. So we have some Space Wolf Rhino doors, Ultramarines, Forge World doors, just miscellaneous stuff. More Space Marines. Space Marines, Space Marines. Oh! I bought a ton of these before they disappeared forever. I was going to change them into chimeras, like for a mercenary force, and make them into not just chimeras, but all sorts of stand-ins for Imperial vehicles. That goes along with my theory of Games Workshop now, because they've dominated the marketplace. Not evil, that's kind of the natural thing that companies do, but it's a weird place to be in our hobby, which is one company is like 90% of the thing. And is that their rules are now becoming generic, and you can't stop this now. That there's going to be a zillion satellite companies coming up, and I think I have some views on this and ideas. I think with the Chapter House thing, GW is trying to assert itself, and that'll be sort of, that'll have some repercussions for the other companies that are doing that. So anyway, got a ton of Tyranids up here. I keep Carnifexes and Trigons at ready to you know, to change into converted beasts. Tau, tons of Tau, got a battle force. I do have these XV9 suits up here. I think some of you may remember me showing you these before. I've actually sold about 6 of them already, but I do have 3 or 4 of the burst cannon guys left over, and those are great figs, and great in the game if you ask me. Depends on who you ask. I ended up with these 2 extra High Elf Dragons. Don't know if I talked about that before. Some extra Dark Elves. What else? Miscellaneous Eldar. Look at all this extra War Machine. And the problem that I've had is that Privateer is so back-ordered right now. It's that I order something and it just never comes. It never comes. It never comes. Then I just go to another company. I'm like, do you have this on hand, in your hands right now? You can send it to me. Yes. And then the back order comes, so I end up just all doubled up with Privateer Press. So, yeah, there you go. If you want this bin sight unseen, I'll put a price on the entire contents of this bin. 1 week, I'll freeze it up. And, but again, sight unseen. If you want me to list it, oh, now it's more. So, so why don't we just take a look, just real quick. Whole bunch of box sets, blisters. There's some loose figures in the bottom here. A few of those are incomplete, but mostly complete. I'd say Mercenaries, Khador, some Menoth, Troll Bloods, mostly War Machine, not Borgs in that. So I'll have a set price on that. PayPal me the price, and I will box it all up and ship it out to you. Orcs, tons and tons and tons of orcs. In fact, come on over, just lean right over here. Look at that. That's all the orc detritus, like just extras. And then I have just bins of orc stuff ready to change into something. What else? 2 Bane Blades. Kablam! These are great for converting into Plague Towers. Is one thinner than the other? I think it is. They must have done 2... Oh, this is... No. They must have done 2 releases. Well, there it is. The other thing I have in here that I am interested in doing away with is this giant wad of Confrontation. That, as you may know, I was all hot and heavy to pick it up. And... Haha! Yeah, but then the D&D, I couldn't paint all these fabulous figures, and really it's a little, it'd be prohibitive, I think. No, it's not too heavy, not too heavy. A lot of stuff in there. What else? Tomb Kings, probably have enough for a whole Tomb Kings army, just ready to go. That I would do a good deal on. So my standard thing is, if you're like, hey Sean, I want to commission one of these armies, well, you get half off your materials. And on the net, that really doesn't knock the price way down of a painted army, but it does sweeten the pot just a little bit. Typically for a painted 2,000 point army, you are looking at, I don't know, between 1,000 and 1,500, and you're probably going to save 100 or so on your cost of models by drawing from trade stock for the whole thing.
Rolling.
Oh, rolling again. Okay, good. Got these 2 Stompas here. So that's a thing. This one has obviously been painted on the cover, and this has been scavenged. This one's new in box. Scavenged meaning we've taken out, you know, maybe 5% of the miscellaneous parts for projects. I still have tons of Space Hulks ready to commission, like 7 copies of it, and that is a treat to have that painted up. And it's a great afternoon's fun. I'm hoping to have one ready for Valhalla. Valhalla is coming up. I should note that we have event passes. That's where you come, maybe you live locally or within driving distance, and you just find your own accommodations and you head up each of the days. And we have some spectacular stuff going for that. And right now, mostly it's set up. We're mostly booked up. There's a couple rooms up there still available. We have about 4 event passes still available. And that's for the February event. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Check out on Sunday, February 24th. And then the exact same days of the month, 24, 25, 26, 27, in March. And that's both 40K. Just so you know, we do have tentatively in the works one for May. We're also scouting out alternate locations, and we found some pretty amazing places for it. We're going to show you those later on. For now, it is the place that you've seen, and that's where it's going to be. Or when we announce it, you'll know what the thing is going to look like. And then later on, as we proceed with it, it's going to be... I want to do a War Machine one. I really want to do a War Machine one. I wonder if there will be enough support for that. And the May one will be Warhammer Fantasy. So Valhalla's a thing. It's being run by a separate company, which I'm a partner in. Me and Sarah are doing this other company. But it's really being promoted by Blue Table Painting, and it meshes to some degree in terms of the materials needed. Why am I going off on all these tangents? But I think some people are interested. They'll sit there, they'll be painting or doing their work. This is work for me, right? Okay, maybe some of you are doing your work, you know, and you'll have this on kind of as a radio show. And I really hope you enjoy. Oh, hey, and in other news, whoosh, I've got Mike Dunn coming out this Tuesday to do a bat rep with me. So Armies Are Undecided is probably going to be 40K. Oh, other thing I've been thinking about is usually I've done like, oh, it's fantasy season, it's 40K season, it's War Machine and other games season. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. I think I'm going to chop it up. I think I'm going to have it be, you know, mixing in more things. And I need to do more bat reps. You guys will have to forgive me. I'm just going to, the next 8 weeks are, it's like hell month for me right now. But don't let that stop you from contacting me to set something up. You'll be helping us out. Order an army, please, because we have to get the capital. And as many of you know, I really am not keen on banks. I think that the foundation of the way that banks do business, which is they take a $10,000 deposit and then they counterfeit another $90,000 based on that, it's called fractional reserve banking, has negative effects for society and for a local economy like ours. Like in Spanish Fork, small town, why are there 10 giant banks on Main Street? Like huge footprints are being taken up by these institutions. I'm thinking, what are they doing? What are they producing or providing, or what service? Now, all they do is they make debt. And because they're running kind of a numbers game on the locals and counterfeiting money but expecting goods to be returned effectively in the form of money which they exchange for the services of the very people that they are getting into debt, that's how they maintain the nice shrubbery. And quite frankly, I've had it with them, but that makes it very hard to be a businessman. It means to get capital, you basically have to provide it yourself, and you have to have fans like you actually order things. Or, oh, by the way, if you believe in Valhalla, you can donate stuff, and we will turn that into money, or we will actually do something with it. So, you know, there's that. I don't know how that sounds for me to say it, but it's a thing. And we really are making a huge difference locally. Blue Table Painting isn't just me anymore. I could effectively retire at this point, meaning I could just kind of enjoy my little shop, pay my bills, and be doing okay. But in the last few months, I've realized, you know what? Other people depend on this, and they depend on me. And it's a wife and 4 young kids, get all their medical bills paid and all their food paid, and all the people that work here. They also support their families through this. So you know what that means for me? It means I got to get up early and stay up late and work hard and work smart and make this happen. And so a heartfelt thank you to all of you who are supportive either through goodwill or actually using our services. So thanks.